Hello there. Can you guess which car is refusing to start? Yes, it's the £100 Nissan Micra. Oh dear. Okay, so here's what's happened so far. My intention today was to remove the back seat from the car to see if I could access the top of the fuel tank, and I thought, well, I'll just move the car a little bit over that way to a more convenient spot, but then it wouldn't start. Anyway, let's just give it one more go to be sure. So, key in the ignition, check we're in neutral, which we are, and now let's listen for the engine. No, it's not cranking at all. All I'm hearing, and I don't think my microphone will pick this up, is a very faint gurgling noise. And in fact, even that's stopped now. Now, this feels to me like a flat battery, but it absolutely shouldn't be, because the battery in this car is only 6 months old. It should be in its prime. Now, we do still have a little bit of electrical power. The hazard lights work. They sound a bit weird, but they work. And the clock down there on the dashboard is still working. It says completely the wrong time, but you've got to count your blessings. So I have a little battery analyzer here, which will tell us what's going on. It simply connects to the terminals. So positive to positive and negative to negative. And then it just takes a moment to figure things out. Got to press a few buttons. Right. Place your bets now. Well, that's not good. The voltage is 9.62. It should be more like 12.5. The state of health of the battery is apparently 19%, and the state of charge is 0. Right, so let's take the battery out and give it a charge. Now, as this battery is so new and definitely shouldn't have failed, I'm wondering if it's gone flat because the alternator, which is over there somewhere, hasn't been charging it properly. So I do want to check the alternator, but I can't do that without starting the car, and I can't do that until this thing has some charge. Right, it's the next day and things are not going well. So this battery has literally been on charge for 24 hours, but according to my analyzer, it's still as flat as a pancake. So a couple of possibilities spring to mind. Either the battery is completely dead and can't accept a charge, which doesn't seem likely considering it's only 6 months old, or the battery charger I've been using, which is from the 1970s, has finally decided to conk out. I think it's more likely the charger's conked out, so I'm going to test this thing on a different car, which has definitely got a good battery, and we'll take it from there. So we have a Nissan Micra here, which definitely has a good battery. So let's connect the charger and see what happens. So positive to positive, negative to negative, plug it in. And let's see. No, I don't think it's working. So the charger is making a humming noise as if it's on, but look, this needle isn't rising, which it would normally. And if we have a look here, I've connected a multimeter to the battery and it's reading about 12.5 volts, which is just a decent resting voltage for a healthy charged battery. But if it was actively charging, I would expect that to be quite a bit more, 13 or 14. So yeah, it looks like that thing may have finally had its day, which is a shame. But there you go, we've had our money's worth. Let's just check some of the levels while we're here, shall we? Brake fluid, yeah, it's got some of that. Power steering fluid, yeah, that's fine. Expansion tank, yeah, that's fine. I'll do the oil later. How about screen wash? No, we're almost out of screen wash. Okay, it's now sometime later again, and I've bought myself, wait for it, a brand new battery charger. This one's made by a company called Ring. I've had their stuff in the past and I've been happy enough, so hopefully this will be decent. Now, I may at some point make a separate video about this thing that tells you a bit more about it, but for now, I just need to get it to work so I can finally start this car. This thing feels so space age compared to the old charger. Anyway, I have read the instructions, what there is of them. So to connect the terminals, there we go. Plug it in. Right, what does it say down there? 9.7 volts. Okay, so press that button to select the right mode, which it is now in. Car 12 volts, and that should be it. Yeah, charging. 10. Okay, good. Right, leave that for a while and we'll see what happens. So while that's charging, I'll top up the screen wash on the prime mirror, and the cap on the filler neck there is quite good because it's got this dipstick on it, so you can see how much screen wash you've got left. I don't know why that isn't standard on every car, really. So it wouldn't cost much. Right, now I do have a bit of screen wash pre-mixed. This won't be anywhere near enough because this car takes an enormous amount of screen wash. But at least it's something. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some more. So the new charger is now reading about 13.4, 13.5 volts, which strikes me as about right. So it's doing its thing. I don't know how long it's going to need to fully charge out battery because I'm not used to this machine, but it is nonetheless an 8 amp, as it says down there. So it should be faster than some. I don't know what to do with the old charger though. It seems a shame in many ways just to throw it away after decades of loyal service, but it isn't really practically any use anymore. I suppose I could take it apart and have a look inside and then throw it away. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so that's all topped up, which is handy because I've got a long journey to do in a little bit. But first, I just want to replace this windscreen wiper arm on the Micra, which is on the offside, the driver's side, as it is in the UK. Hang on, what time is it? No, I've got to get going. I haven't got time to mess about anymore. That will have to wait for another day. So we've been beaten by the clock. I've got to get going. In the meantime, I'll leave the battery on charge. Another day, I'll reinstall it, see what's what, and I'll also test the alternator to make sure that's properly charging the battery, because there's no way it should have gone completely flat after only 6 months. What else needs doing? I need to reinstall that wiper arm. I also want to get this back seat out so I can access the top of the fuel tank and many other bits and pieces. So if you want to keep up with such things, you're welcome to subscribe to Car Spy TV. Now tonight I'm staying in a Premier Inn, which will be a new experience for me. I've stayed in lots of travel lodges, which is a similar sort of thing, and lots of more traditional hotels, but never a Premier Inn, so it'll be interesting to see what that's like. I tell you what I'll do, when I get there, I'll show you the room. Right, we are in a Premier Inn, and I hope you like purple because there's a great deal of it. Have a look at this. We have ambient purple mood lighting above the bed there. We have purple curtains over here on the left. We have a purple card down here on the desk, a purple no smoking sign. There's purple on the menu. I'm going to be dreaming about purple tonight, but there are worse things to dream about. Over here, of course, we have the obligatory tea and coffee making facilities. So what have we got? Nescafe Original and PG Tips, and of course a tiny little kettle that you only get in hotels. And look, under here, look, there is a bottle opener, which is quite handy. If only I had some bottles. Now, there is a funny little quirk about this room. There's a wider shot of it for you. I shall show you. just down here, tell you what, we'll turn on the main light, shall we? There we go. Now, just down here, we have this little box here for controlling the temperature, but I think it must be broken. Okay, so look, let's turn it on and listen for the noise, some chimes. Did you hear that? And then, of course, you turn the temperature up here, like that, and down there, and you can see it's now set to 30 degrees Celsius. But even when it's set that high, all I get is freezing cold air out of that thing. So when I first came into this room, boy, was it cold. Yep, still getting cold air out of there now. So what I'm going to do is just turn that off. There we go. And some more funny chimes. Now tomorrow I do actually have to go and do something where I look uncharacteristically smart. So I've had to bring some better clothes. So I've got my new hat, I've got some new black trousers in there and a decent tie. There's a wardrobe over here behind the mirror. Hello. Where is it? There we go. So you can hang your clothes up there. We've got some spare pillows as well. The car park, we have a magnificent view of a bright yellow Nissan Duke, which drives better than it looks, by the way. Now, I'm not so sure about this. What do you think? Is that art, or is it just a mess on the wall? I don't know. But there is a lot more purple there.